Tech sales is one of the easiest ways to break into the tech industry if you have no degree, no experience in the field, or you're just looking to make a career switch. Now, sales happens to be a very highly in-demand job in the market, especially for companies that sell B2B or business to business. And that's because, well, salespeople bring money into the company. Without them, the company might not exist for very long. Question is, how do you take advantage of this opportunity out there in the job market? In this video, I'm gonna give you a quick overview of a program called Course Careers. It's like an online boot camp that you can go through at your own pace, and it teaches you what you need to know to land a job in tech sales and be great at it. And given my 10+ years of experience working in tech, a small part of that working in sales, but the larger part of that working with sales very closely, I'll answer the question, is Course Careers legit? So before I even get started, if you're new to the channel, my name is Richard Walls, and I'm here to help you with career development and personal finance. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below along with the notification bell so you get notified of when I post new content. So with that said, let's get started. So I'm gonna give you the answer first and then explain myself in a little bit more detail throughout this video. But the answer is yes, Course Careers is legit. It's an absolutely great way to fast track yourself into tech. It gives you a much better chance of landing the role in the first place and then a better chance of being successful in the role once you're there. There are a ton of success stories already of people that have gone through this program, landed a job, and are now doing something they enjoy and have a pretty good salary coming out of it. Now, I'll touch on those stories briefly later in the video, so make sure to stay till the very end. That being said, like any other education path or program of this sort, there are no guarantees. You get out of it what you put into it. You don't just get handed a job for simply completing the program. You still have to work for it. You still have to polish your resume, your LinkedIn profile. You still have to network. But if you're willing to do that, then you're going to likely be in pretty good shape. And if you do end up moving forward with this program, do make sure to check out the link I have in the description below, and make sure to use the coupon code to save $50 on what is already a fairly inexpensive program that has the potential to yield greater returns than likely most college degrees out there. So why do I think Course Careers is legit? Number one is that the content is straightforward, detailed, and prescriptive. It's all fairly simple to understand, and the training that you get around how to sell is actually what you would find at any organization that trains their sales force. It also gets into the details of what kind of software you might be using as a tech sales rep. For example, it goes into detail on Salesforce and HubSpot. Those are two of the more popular customer relationship management platforms out there, among some other platforms for different sales motions. It teaches you how to use them to win more business and be more efficient with your work. And there's really not any fluff in this training. And the way I defined fluff is that if there's any kind of excess content around abstract concepts like mindset and belief. Not that mindset isn't important, but sometimes I see too much content devoted to that. In my opinion, it's really not useful. Now, there certainly is discussion around mindset and expectations in this training, but it's in the right amount. And the reason that it's in here is because mindset is fairly important when it comes to sales. And if you don't have the right expectations, the right mindset, the willingness to work for it, it can be pretty discouraging at times if you're not hitting sales goals. Number two is that there is a community of learners that have the same goal as you. Anytime you can be a part of a group of like-minded individuals with the same goals, the chances of you succeeding are that much higher. Course Careers has a Discord channel that will be available to you to join, participate in if you join the program. There you can chat with many other learners, you can ask questions about the content, get clarification, talk about interview tips, and share best practices on building out a resume. People also share their success stories on there as well. Third is that it's designed as a job pipeline. Part of the value proposition of Course Careers is that the company partners with other companies or businesses to create a pipeline of candidates for tech sales. Part of the reason why it is relatively inexpensive for the student is that the costs are being partially subsidized by the companies that are enlisting the services of Course Careers to have students take the training and become viable candidates that they can select from. Whatever amount they pay is likely a small fraction of the amount that they would have to pay to train someone from scratch. Because what generally ends up happening is if, for example, a company hires a recent college graduate, it's very likely that that graduate is not going to have much of a clue about sales. So they have to spend a good deal of time ramping them up so that they're at least somewhat proficient in the sales motion, not to mention whatever technology that they would be selling. And not only does the training itself cost money, but they also have to pay the person that entire time, because at that point in time, they're full-time employees usually. And it's time that that salesperson is not really bringing in revenue for the company at that point. But since they partner with Course Careers, they have the benefit of getting someone that's already gone through some sort of training that the company decided or deemed to be valuable enough that they can hire someone and not have that extensive ramp up time. And these are companies that are looking for interns, part-time workers, full-time. So you have a range of different needs that these companies have. And really all that this sales rep would have to do is learn about the technology that they'd be selling. They'd already be familiar with a lot of the tools that the company uses. So I'm a huge fan of what this program can enable someone to do to move their career into the tech industry and really make a career pivot into a role that's going to teach you probably more than most roles out there. I've said this on a few occasions in different forums to different people. I might have mentioned it in a previous video where I talk about sales, but I believe sales to be one of the best experiences anyone can have in their career, because you are face to face with a customer, understanding their pain points, their needs, and you learn how to communicate better. You learn how to listen, and then also at the end of that, understand what they need and provide some kind of solution that's going to add value to what it is that they're doing. And if you're on the fence about sales or on the fence about this program, just a little bit of motivation, there are a number of success stories you can check out of people that have successfully transitioned their career from really a lot of different backgrounds. There's someone who pivoted into tech sales from being a voice actor, one person that was a college dropout, one who used to be a substitute teacher. So make sure when you check out my link in the description below that you navigate to the student stories and you can learn more about what other people have gone through. And apart from that, if you want to hear more about sales in general, I've got one video you can check out where I go into a little bit more detail, and another video where I do a little bit more of an in-depth review of Course Careers, the career expectations as well as salary expectations. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.